Looking back at the Avs 2016-17 season is not really a fun experience, but there were a few bright spots, the brightest of which might just be Mikko Rantanen. After playing 9 NHL games in the 15-16 season, Rantanen came into the 16-17 season expecting it to be his true NHL rookie season. The year got off to a bit of a sour note for Rantanen as he got injured in the rookie showcase in the preseason. He ended up missing the entire rest of the preseason as well as most of the month of October. After a 4-game conditioning stint down in the AHL in San Antonio, he was called back up and played his first NHL game of the year on October 28th against the Winnipeg Jets. It took him a while to get going as he recorded just 1 assist in his first 7 games, but in that 8th game he scored his first NHL goal and it really was a beauty.
Back to the point for Johnson, over towards Rantanen, easing his way in, he shoots, goal! Mikko Rantanen, his first National Hockey League goal!
From there through January 6th, he would record 16 points in 27 games, and he would end up the season with 20 goals, leading the Avalanche, along with 18 assists for 38 points. Rantanen quickly developed chemistry with both Nathan MacKinnon and Matt Duchene as the top 6 centers. He would often be the trigger man on these lines, getting set up by MacKinnon fairly often, and even recorded a hat trick this year in his rookie season. By the end of the year, Rantanen, MacKinnon, and Andrighetto was a staple of the first line for the Avalanche, and they were really the only exciting line down the stretch. Rantanen put up over 25% of his points on the power play, which is actually good to see given how bad the Avs power play was last year. With Iginla no longer in the fold, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rantanen set up as that guy blasting bombs for the Avs from the top of the circles. Rantanen was used in all situations and never shied away from the big moments, including this overtime game winner here in Carolina. He really stepped to the plate when called upon and looked like a professional out there. The one weak part of his game was his balance. He may have fallen down more than anyone else in the entire NHL, given from what we saw last year. Anytime he was out on the ice, you were half expecting him to trip over his own feet or slide across the blue line or something like that. With that said, when he did stay on his feet, he was strong on the puck, and he had good enough vision to know what to do with it, and wasn't always just firing pucks at the net. He averaged over 18 minutes a game, good for 4th in forwards on the Avalanche, and that number is only going to increase this year. Don't be surprised if he's getting numbers closer to MacKinnon in that category. Overall on the season, Rantanen averaged over half a point per game and consistently produced in the Avs' top 6, so I'm going to give him a grade of A- on the season. Now before you freak out and wonder why I gave a grade of A- to a 38-point player, keep in mind that I'm grading this on a curve, so within the Avalanche, Rantanen was one of the best players on the team. That is the end of this Avalanche Players Season Review. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, I can continue this series on and do some more Avalanche players from the 16-17 season. This was also meant to be kind of a dry run for the setup for my prospect videos like this. Those might take a little bit longer as footage is a little bit harder to come by in those cases, but you can look for something like that once I get around to them. I'm Rudo3, and Rantanen is Bay.